from that relationship, that intimate aspect of the relationship, so you could get through our hardships, so you could spend extra time in prayer, so you could spend extra time in devotion. There's a number of things that you could step away from, so you could step closer to time with God for a certain amount of time. So fasting specifically is referring to food, but in the general sense, it could refer to other sorts of abstaining from physical needs or physical aspects. Abstaining from work might not be the best example, since we're seeing a big cultural shift in work ethic, but that's another discussion entirely. All right, so Jesus challenges us. When we are fasting, there's a purpose. Don't lose that purpose because you're trying to show off to other people. So the Pharisees, thinking about the culture at this time, the Pharisees had failed in all of these three areas, in giving and prayer and fasting, and they had put on a show. They had turned that into a ritual. They had turned that into theater. They said, when you go and give, put on a big show, advertise it, let everybody know exactly how wonderful you are. When you pray, put on a big show, make sure everybody knows exactly how devout you are by the big words that you use. And likewise, when you fast, you got to wear this kind of sackcloth, you got to put dirt on your head, you got to sit around, you got to get everybody's attention. Everybody's going to feel sorry for you, and they're going to know how holy you are. Well, Jesus says, get away from that theater. If you're following that theater, you aren't realizing any spiritual benefit, and you aren't blessing anybody else by going through these things. So the Pharisees failed in these three areas. Let's make sure that we don't fall into the same trap. So, we're going to get into some of the culture aspect of it and think about the setting here. Jesus didn't pull any punches. He's calling them hypocrites, uses words like disfigure their faces. And when we read disfiguring their faces, that's not something that was part of the culture. That's not part of a command, I should say. So let's turn to the Old Testament for a little bit. Let's turn to Leviticus chapter 16 together. Let's read a few mentions of fasting, and let's think about the original purpose of it and how that got twisted over time. Leviticus chapter 16.